Hello and welcome to Nailed It Intuition and Tarot. I am Torch and super happy to be here for you just to do a general reading for the collective. I don't really have anything in particular that I want to read about. I just like to allow the cards to speak. And if this message is for you, you will know. If it's not, take what resonates and disregard the rest. And also don't forget that all tarot readings and intuitive messages are for entertainment purposes only. You've got your own intuition, wisdom, judgment, and common sense, so please use it. The decks I'll be using today are the Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid, the African Tarot, and the Magical Mermaids and Dolphins by Doreen Virtue. So I will speak the invocation as I get the deck shuffled. So at this time, I am calling on the presence of the Most High Creator living within us and permeating all of creation and consciousness to join me now. I welcome you and your Holy One to the highest vibration into this space. Any energies or entities not as mentioned are not welcome here and must leave now. Our souls have a plan, and through this reading, may obstacles to our soul's plan be removed so that we can shine our highest light out into the world. And may the roads which lead to the manifestations of our highest desires be now open and swift. Please guide the understanding of those listening to only receive what is meant for them without perversion. And may my understanding and speech be plain and clear so that only what will bring peace, truth, wisdom, justice, clarity, love, peace, and hope is spoken. And so it is uttered, and so it is done. Okay, so we're going to get started to set the tone of this reading with the Wisdom of the Oracle. Please show us clearly what messages that we need to know at this time. Please show us clearly what messages we need to know at this time. Okay, fork in the road. Okay, so it feels like there's a decision point here. A few paths being open, one maybe leading in one direction and one leading in another. And you might have, this is giving me Two of Swords energy, where there might be some indecision happening here, not really knowing which way to go. Okay, and I'm getting already that the choice is always going to be in what is in the most alignment with your heart. All right, and let's take a look at the bottom of the deck. We have milk and honey in the reverse. So yeah, if the land and milk and honey represents something that is going to bring you a lot of joy and happiness in your life, for some reason I'm feeling that you have maybe are losing sight of that in some regard. You know, we can always lose sight of what will truly make us happy and fulfilled in life. And so there's a choice that you have here at this time to make a decision that's more in alignment with the energy of your heart. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what the tarot would like to say. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for your guidance. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the wisdom that is so freely given to us when we ask. A lot of these cards are just almost flipping, almost coming out. And I do get this almost. Like there's an energy here of yeah, like that stop start, indecision, stop start, you know, you know, maybe you've made some attempt to start and then you stop, or like you make a decision and then you change your mind, or you know, it has like that kind of feeling. Okay, so I'm just gonna go so far with what has flipped on the table. Whew. Sorry, and what I'm feeling here, I have to take a sigh. Is some anticipation here, okay? And we have at the bottom of the deck the Eight of Swords. All right, so there's been some things going on in the mental space, I feel like. or even circumstances in your environment that they seem to be keeping you in a stuck state, but it's not really keeping you in a stuck state. Yeah, and I'm really feeling this moreover because like we don't have any major arcanas on the table. These are all minor arcanas and court cards. And so what this means to me is that already, like, wherever your mind is when you're watching this reading, this isn't a temporary state, okay? This is very much in a temporary state. You know, we've got some things going on here between heart and head. All right, so I feel like maybe that's what the decision point here is, this fork in the road, and maybe a misalignment where, you know, your purpose or something that you wanted to build, something that you were trying to create, maybe in the company of others, for whatever reason, it wasn't really aligned. It was out of alignment with what was going to bring you joy. Okay, this feels like a misguided business venture or something like that. It feels like what you thought you were pursuing either wasn't virtuous or has somehow worked against you. Okay, and now it's time for you to kind of redirect your course. You know, this is a course correction. All right, because what was previously created, I'm going to see what's underneath this Eight of Swords, the Five of Wands. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling, this anticipation, this restlessness type of energy. What was created or what you were pursuing, I feel like there was a bit of naivete involved in it, you know, where you went into a situation and, you know, it's like you bit off more than you can chew, or you thought you were more capable than what you actually were, or the people you engaged with, like you had a vision, but everybody else around you kind of had a different vision. Like this feels very much like being at cross purposes with maybe people at work. Okay, I'm going to also mention that this could even be with a partner or just anyone that you were, you know, someone in the family, because we do have a family showing up here on this Three of Pentacles card. You know, where, you know, what I thought the situation needed and what someone else thought the situation needed wasn't aligned. There was definitely a lack of alignment, a lack of seeing eye to eye. And I feel like, you know, I get the feeling that this situation was handled a bit recklessly. I have another deck that I want to bring out here to help give some clarification to this energy. Can you please provide clarification on the Knight of Swords? Please provide clarification on the Knight of Swords. Please provide clarification on the Knight of Swords, which is showing up on the table here in reverse. Please clarify the Knight of Swords in reverse. Okay, thank you. All right, so we have here, the answer is yes, winter in reverse, and contemplation. Yeah, so I feel like this yes is for me as clarification, and we have soulmate on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I do feel like this is a relationship where things were just not seeing eye to eye. This relationship could have started in the winter, but also with this card being in reverse, it has the feeling of thawing out, something thawing out. All right, so whatever was previously started, whatever had crystallized previously, something about that is becoming a bit unraveled. And this has you thinking, it has you really in the mental space about, you know, with a lot of confusion. It's like, you know, what about this and this and this and this and this and this and this? And I feel like with the nine of cups being here, you know, this has a lot to do with how you feel fulfilled. Okay. And I get the feeling that somebody just wasn't cutting the mustard here. Somebody just wasn't cutting the mustard. And I believe that this is showing some inner child dynamics for you also, with the Page of Cups being present here, on maybe ways, spaces, places that you have not exercised proper authority over your affairs, where you've allowed yourself maybe to be taken advantage of. You've allowed yourself to not speak, to quiet yourself. You know, this has the feeling of being silenced. Like, I didn't say what I needed to say. I didn't stand up for myself. I didn't voice my concerns. Okay, so if this Knight of Swords in reverse is going to the King of Swords upright, I've got the feeling that you have now stepped into and found some inner authority within yourself that is actually going to help you to feel fulfilled, to feel a sense of personal satisfaction, a sense of personal fulfillment within yourself. And so you're doing so much here to actually begin to work towards this, okay? And you're not backing down. You know, I feel like it's been a long time coming, a long time that you have had to, well, I'm not even gonna say had to, a long time that you had chose to let yourself be overcome, okay? I'm feeling like a weight on you, and I feel like that's what this Eight of Swords card is like. This person is imprisoned by like all of these beliefs, okay? But I'm actually feeling it as a weight, as like the Ten of Wands, okay? Like where you feel like you're trapped, all right? And you felt like they're like you were limited for some reason here. But these limitations are kind of all in your mind. You know, it's like when we have that impulse to say something, but we can't get our words, or we're just confused in the situation. Like we say something, but we don't say it how it needed to be said. You know, I feel this is like getting tongue-tied or getting stuck, or like you had a point that you needed to make, but you lost focus in the dialogue. You lost focus in how this needed to be expressed. And it made you feel a bit small at the time. All right. So and I get the feeling that what other people wanted, what other people needed, okay, what was satisfying to other people, what made them happy is what happened. But you were left a bit here feeling like you were at a disadvantage for some reason. Okay. What is this about? What? Okay. All right, so I have here material world and summer, okay? So this might have been something that happened in the summer related to your work, or it's something like, if we think of the summer more as an archetype where like the sun is in its highest light, its highest shine. I'm feeling this as maybe you expressing in the height of your value, you making a decision, you speaking up for yourself regarding, you know, some personal value that you need to feel, okay? Or, you know, this could have just been like a business decision, like I said, because we do have pentacles here and pentacles here. So this could have been a business decision at work, that happened over the summer that had you in some type of disadvantage, or this is something that happened at work that just didn't where you felt like you could not speak your highest truth, okay? And so what I feel like here is that you're going to be working in this situation to actually communicate what needs to happen for you to get your needs met. You know, we saw the soulmate card come up previously before I reshuffled the deck. And I'm thinking too, this, you know, if it's even in a relationship, okay, where you allow the needs of the other person to supersede the needs that you have for yourself, okay? I feel like there are things that you feel like you need, that your heart needs, some boundaries even that needed to be expressed, that you don't feel that you have actually expressed those up until this particular point, okay? And so I do see you, you know, taking a stand, kind of putting your foot down here and doing everything that you can. You know, something within you has discovered your value. And this is the fork in the road. You know, it's kind of asking, you know, are you gonna let this situation continue where your needs aren't being met? Or are you gonna finally take yourself seriously? Are you, because if someone else isn't valuing you, it's because you first have not valued yourself, okay? And so again, like, these situations happen to show us where we need to heal, all right? We have the healing card here, okay, where we're out of alignment with some version of our soul's calling. And so I feel like that is the purpose of this reading, to explain and demonstrate that, you know, you have the ability to finally provide some safety for your inner child, okay? Because the inner child has no longer feels safe in this situation and is disappointed, okay? Is throwing a fit, like something within you is kind of like throwing a tantrum a bit. And I do believe that as you start to speak, you're going to find the words, okay? As you start to speak, you're going to find the words, all right? But you have to mean that much to you first, okay? Like, no one is coming to save you here. No one else can do this for you. You're being called to do this for you. And so what if you made a decision? You know, we make decisions all the time, and you can change your mind. We all reserve the right to change our mind. But you have to be willing to change this scenario for you, okay? This card says you are being helped. Heaven is working behind the scenes to help you, even if you don't see the results yet. I get the feeling that this inner authority that you need is what this is talking about. Moving from, you know, this Knight of Wands and Knight of Swords in reversed, that, you know, is either just throwing a tantrum or getting really mad and upset, or, you know, communicating immaturely or saying things that they don't mean, or like being mean or nasty or unkind, is shifting into this King of Swords energy. And so, or if someone has behaved this way to you, and it's time for you to finally speak up for yourself, okay? So this says, your manifestation is being worked out right now, even if you can't see tangible proof. As an analogy, when sailors get close to land, they often see signs of life, such as birds flying or branches floating in the ocean. By drawing this card, you're urged to notice the signs that land is near. Even if you can't yet see evidence that your manifestation is in process, this card assures you that your prayers have been heard. Stay centered in faith and gratitude in order to open the door to your desires. All right, so you are getting help from the spiritual realm, from your guides, your ancestors, your angels. from the Most High as you receive your Creator, and to help you get the energy and the gumption that you need to get you through this fork in the road, so that you're finally moving in the direction towards things that will bring you into the land of milk and honey, that will bring you into what's actually going to be sweet to your soul. Okay? So I want to thank you all so much for watching this reading, if you've made it this far. And please hit the subscribe button, like, share, and comment on this video. And until next time, I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.